how's the saying go? Saying of can't be a peach to everybody. Ain't that true? Now, I love peaches. Not everybody loves peaches, right? Not everybody loves peaches, and that's the point of that, is that not everybody loves peaches. And not everybody can be a taco. And I don't think that everybody loves tacos either. And I'm not talking about those kind of tacos. Not that everybody loves those kind of tacos either. But the point is that we can't please everybody all the time. And some people you can never please, nor do you want to please them. And at the end of the day, you know what they think of you? They think, if you're a woman, they think that you're a bitch. If you're a guy, they're like, oh, he's such a jerk, he's such a dick, he's such an asshole. Right? And it's because you're not pleasing them. You're not making them happy. Because, of course, you're responsible for their happiness, right? You're responsible for their joy, how they're feeling about themselves, their confidence level, their emotional stability, their this, their that. It's all up to you. And that's why some people think I'm a bitch. And you know what? They're right. I can be the bitchiest of bitches out there. And that's just the way it is. And then other people, I'm an angel. I'm so compassionate. I'm so loving. I'm like better than sliced bread to some people. I don't eat bread, but for those who eat bread, right? I can do no wrong. I can basically be like Jesus and walk on water for some people. And the love is so deep. And the connection is so deep. And they're just like, oh my gosh, you were so soulful. You were so, so wise, so smart, so funny, so beautiful, so this, so. You're all this. You would never do anything wrong to anybody. Like, you would give the shirt, the dress off your back to somebody if they needed it. You'd go out of your way to help them. Oh God, you're just amazing. And you know what? I can be all that. And I am all that. And I would do all that for the right people. For the right people. And the people who think that I'm a bitch, well, it's just because I'm not serving them the way they want me to serve them. Right? Addison, I like that dress. Well, I'm not giving it to you, girl. And I know you know where my closet's at, but stay the F away from my dress. No. It's because we're not serving the people that they think that we're bitchy, or assholes, or mean, cruel, all this kind of stuff. And you know what that means? When we choose to not serve somebody else's desires, will, intent, what it's saying is that we're putting in place boundaries. And get this, who are boundaries for? They're for us, right? They're our boundaries, our emotional boundaries, our mental boundaries, our financial boundaries, our physical boundaries, our spiritual boundaries, our time boundaries, our health boundaries. We have boundaries for every segment of our life. Every category has boundaries in it. Now, I've heard from many, many people that have walked through my door tell me, oh, I don't have any boundaries. And they say it as though it's a positive. And it's the worst thing. So if you're amongst those people out there that go, I don't have any boundaries, I'm so wise and so enlightened, so great that I don't need boundaries. Well, you're stupid, okay? Because boundaries are healthy. Boundaries are a requirement if you want to have success, if you want to have happiness, if you want to experience true love, if you want health, if you want freedom. Yeah. If you want freedom, then you have to have boundaries. And boundaries kind of, there's some boundaries that are really hardcore, those are the non-negotiable things. And typically we have 3 to 5 absolute non-negotiable things in our life that we're just, and will not budge. This is a no-go. This is a complete deal breaker. if this happens. Okay? So those are those core non-negotiables. And then what we have is these boundaries that are flexible boundaries. And flexible boundaries are boundaries that they ebb and they flow. It depends on situations. It depends on people, right? Let's just say, here's one for you. Okay? Touch, personal space. Okay? If we talk about personal space, and this is a really big one. Now, right now, here we are in the midst of COVID, right? Still. And everybody has personal space boundaries of 6 feet, or else, oh my gosh, you're going to kill me, right? Well, outside of those 6-foot rules that we're trying to implement when we're out and about in the public, what are those personal space boundaries that you might have with your children, that you might have with your significant other, that you might have with your closest friends, and then with those people that you work with, and then strangers? Now, all those boundaries, we could just say, if we just talk about personal space, what does personal space? Well, I can tell you, like with my significant other, guess what? There's not a whole lot of personal space, right? And we both like it that way. But at the same time, we can create personal space for ourselves and not be a big deal. And when we're sleeping, we're all knotted up and tied up into whatever pretzel, right? But then we have that throughout the day where there's a lot of personal space. You need to work, I need to work. There's obviously, like taking care of self and all of that. Then with children, personal space. Now, my personal space with my kids, I'm a snuggly, playful mom. I love to hold my kids and love on them, and I encourage them to be loving and connective, and to get on my lap, and to hug, and to kiss, and we read, and we snuggle, and we do all that. But guess what? There is a personal space that there's a boundary there called a door, right? Or a, hey, we're talking right now, you need to wait, which is teaching respect, right? And then there's friendships. And every friendship is a little bit different, right? Every friendship is different. Well, some friendships, we give the bro hug. Other friendships, we're right up on our friend, right? And we're just like connecting. Other friends, maybe we have a little bit more connection with them and we give them a kiss on the cheek, Or we can sit close to them, or we sit across from them. We can make really good eye contact. Other friends, eye contact's not so great. We give the bro hug, but we're not up close and personal in that really close personal space. And then we have associations, people that we work with, or buddies, different things like that, right? What's that about? Handshake? Maybe the bro hug? If you're in my line of work, you focus in on connective work. So I hug everybody as centered as I possibly can so that they can feel what a real hug feels like, because hugs are so healing. But just because one is open and huggy, right? Okay with personal touch, okay with their space being intruded on, does not necessarily mean that they're all in for everything else. Maybe the grab or the kiss, right? There's personal space. Well, here's the thing. Maybe, back to the bitch and the asshole comments, right? Maybe, when we tell that person, no, I'm just going to give you a bro hug, or you give the handshake, maybe you come across aloof. And I can tell you, many, many years ago, long before I started this line of work and working with people, I was that wallflower. I was the aloof, the introverted, what people thought was stuck up and prudish, dare I say, stuck up, aloof, insecure. And you know what? I was all of that. But at the same time, the people that were closest to me, I was not that with. But people thought that I was bitchy. People thought that I was aloof. People thought that I was, judgmental, overly critical. And toward them, maybe I was. Maybe I am. I most certainly am. But just because somebody sets a boundary does not mean that their label is bitch or asshole. Just because somebody says no, I'm not going to bend over backwards for you. I'm not going to let you trample me. Does not mean that they're a bitch or an asshole. They're actually, now this is the part that I want you guys to understand, because this is why boundaries are so important. The people that can say no, the people that can set boundaries, the people that understand the power behind that and allow for the ebb and the flow, the constant change, the development, because enlightenment, growth, expansion is a forever process. Okay? We don't just become enlightened and voila, we are a done, finished being. No. As long as we are living, as long as we are breathing, our hearts are beating, blood's pumping through our veins, we are not a finished product. Okay? There's a finished source that runs through us, but we are not a finished product because we are awakening in this lifetime. And part of the awakening process is to learn healthy boundaries and to not get caught up on what other people's opinions, judgments, and manipulations, because that's what that is. When we get guilted, when they're trying to coerce us into breaking our boundaries and leaning in to satisfy a need, right? To serve them the way they want to be served. That is a taking from the soul. That is a taking from the energy, our personal energy. And when we allow that to happen, it shows that we're out of soul alignment. We're out of alignment with ourself, with our truth, who we are. So people who have healthy boundaries, who can say no, and not just say no just to be, and I'm not talking about the people that are just saying no just to say no, just to prove a point. No, that's ego. Okay? But saying no because it really is not in alignment with them. They're really a no to it. That's just not okay. Okay? That right there is soul-centeredness. That is soul alignment. And that is strength. That is wisdom. That is the blossoming of enlightenment. And that's the path that we're supposed to be on. So, if somebody calls you a bitch, by the way, nobody's called me a bitch today. I get flipped off a lot. I haven't been flipped off for a while. Somebody needs to flip me off. Somebody, hey, Addison, flip me off today when I see you. Just so I feel complete. No. Nobody's called me a bitch today. Nobody's called me any names. This title actually came in from, my partner was reading something the other day and something came through and it was talking about assholes and soulfulness. And I was like, that's such a great title. I need to write on it. And I've had a few things happen over the week. And I was just like, man, I bet I'm being perceived as a bitch on this one because I've set some boundaries, right? I've kind of pulled the plug on different people and I've set the boundaries around different things. And I've really gone into feeding me because I need to be fed. And I need to be fed by not anybody out here, but I need to be fed by me. And so that's exactly what I'm doing. So the boundaries are coming into play. And I just thought, why not? Why not today? Let's talk. Let's talk about healthy boundaries. Let's talk about setting the tone, because what that does is it feeds our soul. It gets us into soul alignment. Whoop! Get your cats out. Go, go, go. I almost got rid of the cats right there. My kids would have thought I was a bitch. Both of them out. They're terrified. They're indoor cats. Oops. That's what I get for telling the cat that I hate you, cat. He's scratching on everything. Spirit's going to make it where he goes outside. I was like, whoop, oops, almost lost the cats. So no, So it is that connectiveness that we get is exactly what we need in our boundary setting. Okay? And I want you to look at the boundaries. And here's the primary areas for you to look at. Time, space, finances, emotions, mental, and physical. Okay? There are boundaries in each one of those areas. Those are just, yes, very generalized. But if you write those down and you start to look at what what's your happiness level in each one of those subjects? What is the happiness level there? Do you feel depleted? Well, that's a big red flag saying, I have weak boundaries. I'm overly passive right here. I am allowing for myself to be bombarded by others' needs, others' desires, and I am over serving here. Okay? And if you feel like there's absolutely no movement there, like there's just like almost a wall where you're meeting a whole bunch of resistance, realize that can be a red flag saying, I am extremely harsh here. I need to become more flexible. I am armored up in this area. Because if there is such resistance in a boundary, then it shows that there's armor there. What you're looking for is that pliable state that feels good, that you feel that you're in control of it, that you've got it and you're feeding yourself. So there needs to be a give and a take in that department because we are creatures of service. We do need to be engaged. We do need to be interacting with other people. That is that community. That is that unity that we are definitely needing with others. And that comes through acts of service. It comes through time. Okay? It comes through physical touch, the love languages. So if you are feeling positive in an area, not depleted, then chances are it's pretty healthy. But if you keep getting overrun, then it's not healthy. Or if you're consistently, every single person in your life is like, ooh, can't talk to them. You're only getting surface because people can't feel safe with you. Well, then they don't trust you, which means, unfortunately, that you're not trusting yourself, which is a whole nother topic. But right now, I want you to look at those areas. I want you to write down what boundaries you have right now, or what boundaries you would like to focus in on around those areas. And then just take one and start to look at ways that you can start to implement that boundary in your life. Start to play with it, test it, explore it, and give yourself 7 days of exploring it and see what comes up in you. How do you feel from establishing that boundary? Do you feel lighter? Do you feel more solid in yourself? More clarity, more certainty, more joy, more happiness, more connection, more fulfillment? Because that's what you're looking for. That's, at the end of the day, what we all want, is fulfillment, happiness, and connection. And love, of course. But love is the root of all of that. So, all right, on that note, free consultations are happening for Unavailable for the Bullshit, which is kind of like what we're just talking about here, right? Unavailable for the bullshit. Well, you want to stop being unavailable for the bullshit? Then take advantage. Take advantage of this offer, okay? Because this is going to be an 8-week program for 15 very special individuals out there. And if you haven't already messaged me on this, do so now, okay? Make sure that you get on the list to have that discovery call with me, to get the consultation done, and to see if this program actually works for you. Because maybe you're not ready to be unavailable. Maybe you're still playing in the drama and you're enjoying it. You're loving it. It's just the way life is. It's the way you've always known life to be, and you just can't imagine life without all the drama and chaos. Well, we all have drama. We all have chaos. Messes need to be cleaned up. But life doesn't have to be that messy. Life can be clean. Life can be pure. Life can be joyous and fun. life can be peaceful, and peaceful doesn't have to be boring. So, if you would like to be unavailable for the bullshit, message me today. Take advantage of the free consultations, and let's get you lined up for the April 1st program that is happening, where I'm going to teach you the 8 pillars of how to make yourself unavailable for the bullshit. As always, everybody, I love you guys. Know that you're worthy of a fuck yes life. You're worthy of the love, the joy, the happiness, the abundance, the health, the everything that you're wanting. What you are desiring desires you too. Remember that. But it's not going to lower its frequency to come to you. You are the one that has to increase your frequency to get to it. That's the way the universe works. That's the way manifestation works in any subject area of our life. Let me help you get there. I love you guys. Remember, stop existing, start living. I'll catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. Bye, everybody.